this brief was given to me a couple of days back that we are doing an awards like this. I spoke to an entrepreneur friend of mine to actually understand entrepreneurship a little better. When we talk about entrepreneurship, I think some of the words that do the rounds are product, funding, Series A, Series B, EBITDA, stuff like that. I think that is what an entrepreneur's life becomes all about. So I spoke to this friend and I said, यार मुझे बता कि ये सब तो ठीक है, these are all technical things and of course this is part of the job, but what is that one thing that actually defines you? If I asked you that, what was that one quality that you feel made you an entrepreneur or at least gave you the courage to take that step to become an entrepreneur? He looked at me and he said, 5-letter word है और हिंदी का word है, चलेगा? I was like, हाँ, क्या है? He said, जिगरा. That's exactly what you need. And when I looked back at it, I was like, that is so true. Just like in anything in life, to become an entrepreneur, and especially I feel to become an entrepreneur, what you need is jigra. Now, you know, at this point of time, if we just look at Pune city, somewhere, you know, one entrepreneur is walking into a bank for the 10th time because he or she refuses to take the word no as an answer. Someone is shutting their laptop after a 16-hour shift, just thinking that this is what I believe in, and I believe in it with so much conviction that this is going to see the light of day. And eventually, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, it's all about recognizing something that they have earned and something that they've got, and that is Jigra. My name is RJ Sammy. I'm going to be your host for the evening. What I do is I go around the world hosting sporting events. So if you are at an ICC game, at a World Cup game, or at an IPL game, you'll probably hear me on the microphone if you're in the stadium. Very recently, when the great Leo Messi came to Wankhede, I was walking around with him, and I actually learned what Jigra was all about firsthand. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'd humbly welcome all of you to Indira University presents Aavishkar Awards 2026, co-powered by MIDC Mahagenco, finance partner Lokmanya, health partners Ruby Hall Clinic and Noble Hospital, our partners Kohinoor Group and Nippon India. Aavishkar Awards 2026, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start, I request all of you to please put your phones on silent if you can. Don't want any of them going off during the ceremony. Right, Aavishkar means discovery. And that is exactly what tonight is all about. Discovering the builders, the risk takers, the healers, the innovators, and the quiet game changers of Pune and beyond, giving their stories the stage that they deserve. Before we begin, I request our distinguished dignitaries to join us on stage for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, a tradition that reminds us that true enterprise, just like true light, only grows when it is shared. I now invite our dignitaries to light the lamp. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have on stage Mr. Pankaj Sharma, Managing Director and Chairman, Pune Times Mirror, Civic Mirror, and the Lexicon Group. Joining him on stage, Mrs. Monisha Sharma, Co-founder and Director of the Lexicon Group. Actor and entrepreneur, please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kunal Kapoor. Ms. Sheetal Biani, Director, Pune Times Mirror. Professor Chetan Wakalkar, Chief Marketing Officer, Indira University, Academic Advisor, Indira University and Indira Group of Institutes. No beginning in this country or in this land is complete without first seeking the blessings of our very own Bappa, the remover of obstacles and the patron of new beginnings. Now, in a room full of people who have spent their lives beginning things others that could not do, I'd request all of you to please join me as we welcome our very special performer for a very special rendition of the Ganesh Vandana. After a performance like that, I want everybody to join me and say, Ganpati Bappa, Mangal Murti. That's what I'm talking about. Now, entrepreneurship also sometimes starts with some crazy ideas, some bad ideas. And our next gentleman who I'd want to call up on stage, he's been part of something where I think an idea germinated, not the greatest of ideas. He totally played along with his friends while I was watching it on TV, and I saw that the idea wasn't the greatest of what they were about to do, but I think the conscience of that idea somewhere was rooted about getting things right. Now, some actors choose roles. This one chose a revolution. From the fire of Rang De Basanti to a body of work that has never shied away from stories with a conscience. Our next guest has spent his career proving that cinema can move a nation, not just entertain it. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the incredibly talented, effortlessly candid, versatile Indian actor, writer, and tech entrepreneur, Mr. Kunal Kapoor. Can I have you on stage, please? Kunal, before anything else, I must tell you that, like I was saying, ideas. I was watching Rang De Basanti. When that idea was being germinated, you could have been the one and said, no, let's not go that route. But you still played along with them, man. But that is... you're the assistant director on the movie. Now, please welcome Mr. Pankaj Sharma, Managing Director and Chairman, Pune Times Mirror, Civic Mirror, and the Lexicon Group, and Mrs. Monisha Sharma, co-founder and director of the Lexicon Group, to please join us on stage and felicitate, beg your pardon, Mr. Kunal Kapoor. A big, big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Aavishkar Award 2026 co-powered by MIDC and Mahagenco. Finance partner Lok Manya. Health partners Ruby Hall Clinic and Noble Hospital. Our partners Nippon India and Kohinoor Group. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to pull some chairs together. Now, Kunal, if I can have you on stage. Sir, ma'am, thank you very much. Let's get a couple of chairs together, because this next part isn't an interview, it's a conversation. Mr. Kapoor just isn't an actor, like I told you. He's also built a name for himself as an entrepreneur, someone who understands the same relentlessness, the same risk, the same doubt that everybody being honored tonight has lived through. Both the chairs are over here. Now, this is going to be a very interesting conversation, which is going to be led by Ms. Akansha Sharma, co-founder of the Sita Group. A round of applause for Mrs. Akansha Sharma, please. The stage is all yours, ma'am. And so is Kunal. We'll do a quick sound check and then we're good to go.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, very good.
Good evening. Hi. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hi.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, thank you. It's absolutely lovely being here. I always enjoy coming to Pune, and it's always wonderful to be in the presence of such achievers and people with such brilliant minds, and also people taking so many risks to build things that they believe in. So, thank you.
Great. You know, it's very interesting for me to be able to talk to you because you're someone who has two successful careers and they are basically at opposite ends. You're an actor and you're an entrepreneur. The first thing that I can think of is that an advantage, or was it tough being an actor who got into entrepreneurship?
So, look, I mean, lots of people think there's a lot of difference between entrepreneurship and acting. Obviously, there is. But I find that there's something that's very common that I enjoy in both of them. I think intrinsically, I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
And acting and movies is obviously about telling stories. But I think people undervalue how much entrepreneurship is about telling stories. Because you really need to be a good storyteller to tell the world about why you're building what you're building and why they need it. And also with investors, you need to know, how you can tell your story. So I really enjoy telling stories, and I think acting and entrepreneurship both have that in common with each other. But it's never been really tough. I think it's only really about what you're passionate about. And when you're passionate about something, it doesn't feel tough. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like a burden. When you're not passionate about something and you're forced to do something, then it starts feeling like one is enough. Why am I doing two things?
Fair. So you're saying that we should all be great actors in front of the investors?
I think that's very important. I think I think entrepreneurs should do a short acting course and learn how to tell their stories really effectively. Because, I mean, when you look across the world as well, I mean, somebody like Elon Musk, for instance, when he started his career, he was basically selling a story because he didn't have a product. And he was such an effective storyteller that investors bought into his story. So I think is a really important thing, especially in today's world. I think, where everybody is going to have an even kind of playing field because, we have access to AI and so many great learning tools. I think how you sort of present yourself and how you distribute yourself is very important.
Yeah, so true. You know, another thing that I think acting and entrepreneurship might have in common is possibly rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? Which one hit you more? Was it getting rejected as an actor, which was tougher, or as an entrepreneurship?
Well, I was foolish enough to choose two careers, both of which are completely dependent on rejection and acceptance. So it wasn't a very smart move. But they both feel terrible. I mean, I haven't, fortunately enough, I haven't faced any rejection as an entrepreneur. But as an actor, somebody was asking me the other day, how does it feel when I think that's my voice. It's the speaker can't take it. Somebody was asking me, how does it feel, when a movie doesn't work? And I said, I love going skydiving, and when a movie doesn't work on Friday, it feels like skydiving without a parachute. Mm-hmm. So you feel this the sinking feeling in your stomach. Yeah. It feels horrible. But then you have to sort of dust that off, and on Monday, you've got to start working on the next one. So, it is. I mean, it is difficult to deal with, obviously.
Yeah. You actually mentioned how storytelling is so important
right.
when you're the founder. Do you think that like having charisma as a founder plays a very big role, or would you place your bet on a person who has a great idea but isn't one who can charm a room?
Well, it's not one or the other, right? Sometimes a great idea wins, sometimes charisma wins. Uh, but when I invest, so I invest in a lot of companies, and when I invest, I think the founder plays a big part. The feeling that I get from the founder, how the understanding that he has of the space that he's building in, and how passionate he is about it or she is about it, right? So I think that is a really important part. The other thing is actually I've invested in a lot of companies where the founder has actually failed the first time, because I feel like if somebody's failed, they've tried something, they failed, they've learned from that.
Yeah.
So you're better off investing in somebody that's already tried and failed, as opposed to somebody that's starting off. So I think failure in that respect is quite interesting for me, especially as an investor.
Yeah, so true. I actually remember reading this thing online about keto, and I think you had mentioned somewhere that initially you got a lot of resistance because a lot of people said that crowdfunding won't work in India. How did you separate persistence from like delusion?
Well, that's a tough one, right? Both in the movies and in entrepreneurship, it's a very fine line, right? You might have a great story to tell as an actor. You might feel like, oh, this is an amazing story, and then it might not connect with anyone. So you can be delusional as well. But I think for us, what was really important is that we genuinely believed that there was a gap there, which is that there were a lot of people that wanted to help and a lot of people that needed helping. And unfortunately, these people weren't coming together. And most entrepreneurs believe that India wasn't a very charitable country. And secondly, is that people wouldn't donate online. I think those were their apprehensions. But I think we were quite clear that, as the country grew, lots more people would want to, help people, because I came across so many friends that said, I wish I could help somebody, but I don't know how to go about it, And secondly, the whole online payment system was growing. So we felt like it was only a matter of time. So maybe it was delusional, but it was based on some kind of logic.
Okay. Yeah, because it's usually tough when the market is telling you something different, but your idea is on the opposite end of it.
Yeah, I mean, most investors were like, why are you starting a company like this? You're an actor. Why don't you start a sporting company or a clothes brand?
Yeah.
Which may have been the smarter thing to do. It would have been easier, maybe. But I really enjoyed building this.
Did like a tiny part of you feel like I told you so when those investors came around?
Well, in fact, one of the investors came back and invested in the company.
Oh, really? Wow.
And he, in fact, had some really good advice to give us. When I went to meet him, he said, look, I'm not interested in investing in this. But so we were leaving, and then he stopped me and he said, look, it's not important that I believe that you should do this. What's important is that you should believe that you do this, right? And if you believe that you should do this, a few years later, I'll come back and I'll say, I want to invest in this company.
Wow.
And he did. So
Wow.
it was great.
That's an amazing story. So, but this isn't like your first brush with entrepreneurship, is it, with Keto?
My first brush was when I was 16 years old and I decided to export mangoes to Hong Kong.
Wow.
Because I had a friend there. And that didn't turn out very well.
No.
But there's a second brush now, which is that we've just launched a metabolic health company. It's called MetaGo. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a company that not only helps you lose weight, but also helps you get fitter metabolically. So that's a new vertical that we're building. And
Wow,
that's been exciting. It's been 7 months now.
Wow.
We've got a lot of people that are on the platform, using the platform and losing weight and getting better metabolic health. And that's been exciting.
Great. So there's MetaGo now, there's Keto already, and you're acting. And there's a lot of effort that goes into even trying to get ready for your roles. How are you prioritizing so many different things?
How do I prioritize it? I'm not quite sure, actually. I think it really helps to have the right partners, with Keto and MetaGo. I've been lucky that I have, very solid co-founders that carry a lot of the load. So it leaves me with a lot more time. So I think I've been very sort of lucky in that respect. But I think it's just about, allocating your time well. I think nowadays we spend so much time on the phone.
Yeah.
It's like 6, 7 hours go and you don't even know, you've realized you're on social media reading stuff that you don't need to know. So if you cut that down, you suddenly have a couple of more hours which you can use productively.
Yeah.
So I think it's really just about time management more than anything else.
Got it. You actually mentioned your partners, and as anyone who's starting off a business, partnership is a great way to go because you can split the risk if in case it doesn't work out. But also, partnership is kind of scary because what if, you guys don't get along in the future? How did you get into that? Were your like non-negotiables or anything that you figured was super important?
I think it was just about interacting with Varun and Zahir and realizing that even though we might be very different personally, we had a very common goal. And I think, when you have a common goal, you might approach it in very different ways. But as long as you know that you're working towards a common vision, I think any kind of complication becomes much easier, So I think for us, it's really just always been about working towards a common vision that is sort of put us together. We have very different ways of working, like I said. But that's not taken away from what we want to build, right?
Do you prefer to work with someone who works in a completely different style than you?
Well, I think it can be quite advantageous. It can also be quite stressful.
Yeah.
Because, even as an actor, you might be somebody that goes on a set and has a particular kind of method and you've rehearsed very hard and you've come to the set and then you have somebody who just picks up their lines and does it,
Yeah.
And for you, that might throw you off to begin with because you're like, hey, listen, I want a couple of rehearsals before I do this, right? But everybody has their own method. And I think what's always happened is when I've worked with people that are very different from me, it's made me uncomfortable, but it's also helped me grow.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing about a partnership, right? Because otherwise you can be with somebody who thinks exactly like you, is like you, and you're both in this kind of comfortable bubble. But if you have somebody that's very different from you, it really sort of pushes you to grow.
So who's tougher on the employees, you or him?
They are, because they have to handle the employees on a day-to-day basis. They can be good. They're very tough on me, so forget the employees. So I get a lot of their.
Do you end up being the tiebreaker between the two of them?
Between the two of them, no, we've never reached that kind of situation actually. Fortunately enough, where I've had to step in and say, guys, break it up. It's never happened, no.
So with Better Go now, you're basically starting from ground zero, building a new thing. What's the one thing that keeps you going? What's making you dive into this?
So look, what happened at Keto, I don't know if everybody knows what Keto is. Keto is a crowdfunding platform where, if you have a medical emergency, people come and raise money for their family, their relatives, or themselves as well, right? And what we found in Keto is that most people that were coming to us in a emergency or a crisis situation. I need 15 lakhs in the next 5 days for my dad's surgery, right? And when we started doing enough research, we found that a lot of these people that were coming to us 10, 15 years ago, their disease started off as a metabolic disease, right? And if somebody had intervened 10, 15 years ago, there would be no emergency or crisis.
Right.
So we wanted to build a company where we would intervene at the beginning and not at the later stage, right? On day one, as opposed to day 10, right? And at that point of time, we realized that the biggest problem that was there in the country was obesity and diabetes. And we started sort of building an infrastructure around that. And by then, GLPs were becoming really popular. So we started doing a lot of research on GLPs, obesity, diabetes. And that's how the company came about. But for us, I think what really drives us is that how do we sort of improve the metabolic health of the country? How do we intervene at a time where people, can, with little interventions, can lead a healthy life, as opposed to 15 years later where it's a crisis. So I think that really drives us.
But did you identify a mistake that you made with Keto that you know you don't want to repeat now?
I think it would be that we diluted very early. I think, when we look back, and I'm sure there's a lot of entrepreneurs here who have done, similar things, is that, when you're starting off, you don't really understand the value of what you're building, right? So we ended up diluting uh, a little more than we should have in the early stages. And I think that I would not do that if I had to do it again.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to have an easier time this time around?
Well, there's never an easier time, right? There's never an easier film. I don't think entrepreneurship or the movies get easier, right? I mean, whether you're right on top of the movie business or whether you're an entrepreneur that's starting something new. The only thing it does is it opens doors more easily.
Yeah.
But then once you're in that door, what you do with it is really up to you again.
True, absolutely. You know, one thing I've noticed with founders is that we tend to be sort of control freaks. We don't like letting go and we don't like delegating much. Are you able to delegate well?
Well, lots. I mean, I don't have a choice. Like I said, I'm doing multiple things at the same time. So if I don't delegate, I'll go a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But I also enjoy delegating things, right? Because I think what I've realized is that when you give people responsibility and you trust them with that responsibility, they perform much better, right? As opposed to not giving them the responsibility in the first place and micromanaging everything.
Yeah.
So I prefer to give people responsibility, and I like to see them step up.
Yeah. Speaking of people, is it like more challenging to handle the people in the business or the business aspect of it?
I think the business aspect of it, right? Especially when you're trying to do something that's not been done. So when we were building Keto, crowdfunding wasn't very popular. Now it is across the world. So we were building in a whole new space, right? So we had to educate not only the people that were raising, but also the people that would be receiving. So it was a lot of work. And similarly with MetaGo, it's metabolic health is not a conversation that we're having right now.
Right.
I think in India we have sick care, not health care.
Yeah.
So we want to shift the conversation from sick care to health care, right?
Right.
And I think that is challenging as well.
Yeah. So before we wrap it up, I have a couple of like rapid fire kind of questions for you. So don't take too much time answering it. Okay. Have you ever used I'm shooting to like an excuse to get out of a meeting?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All the time.
Okay. Is it harder to have co-founders? Is it harder to have co-stars?
My God. Co-stars, I think, can sometimes be painful as well.
Yeah. Okay. A business idea that you wish you'd had first.
Uber.
Right. Have you ever ignored someone's phone call because you know they're calling to pitch you something?
Not really, actually, but I've skipped emails. I get a lot of emails about we'd like you to invest, but sometimes I don't respond to them, which is not the best thing to do, but yeah, I've been guilty of that.
Okay. One co-star you would allow to run Keto for a week.
Amir, I think, because he's so meticulous and he's so detail oriented.
I kind of knew you were going to say that somehow. Okay. Would you invest in your 25-year-old self?
No, I
No.
definitely wouldn't, because I was all over the place. It took me very long to figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. So no, maybe not.
So then before we end, one last thing you wish you had known before when you were younger.
What I wish I had known is that, my God, so many things, right? I don't think there's a rapid fire for this.
No, sorry, this
I'm
wasn't
kind of
part of
stumped
that.
because there's so many things I can think of I wish I had known. But I think the most important thing is that the biggest risk is not taking a risk, right? And committing to something fully. I think that is something that I wish I had known earlier, because there's a lot of things I did half-heartedly, sort of dip my toes into them. But I think just diving into the deep end and doing something with complete commitment, I think, is something I wish I had known earlier.
That's actually a great piece of advice. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you,
the
thank you. It was
time
wonderful
to have
talking
this
to you.
conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, and congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
I'd request both of you to please be on stage for a minute, please, because Akanksha Sharma is the co-founder and CEO of Sita Beauty, a homegrown brand that beautifully blends India's age-old skincare wisdom with modern science. Starting Sita in her early 20s, she has built the brand around safety, transparency, and conscious beauty. From baby care to skincare, Akanksha's entrepreneurial journey is a story of innovation, purpose, and creating products Indian consumers can truly trust. And that is a gift for you from her. Thank you to both of you. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. There are two things that I learned from this entire conversation. The first one is that the biggest risk is not taking a risk. And the second one, I think, to sum it up, I think, how do you define winning? Winning is losing to lose, I'd love to believe, yeah? Until unless you lose to lose, you don't win. That's what success is all about. Now, going forward, it is now time that I call up a very special gentleman up on stage. If Pune Times Mirror, Civic Mirror, and the Lexicon Group are institutions this city trusts, it is because of the vision of one man who built them from the ground up. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Pankaj Sharma, Managing Director and Chairman, Pune Times Mirror, Civic Mirror, and the Lexicon Group to address this gathering. We'd love to hear from you, sir.
Perfectly all right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Heartiest congratulations to all the awardees today. And Kunal, thank you so much for coming. And one thing that great you are doing is encouraging people by giving them awards. The best thing that anybody can do is try and encourage as much as you can, and you never know how you can transform lives. I always feel the ones who are getting an award, there is a very strong belief in them. You are what you are because of your belief. I feel you will be what you will be only because of your belief. Sometimes the beliefs are negatives, sometimes the beliefs are positive. But the good thing about beliefs are beliefs can change. You know, I'll tell you all one thing. There was, in the year 1954, there used to be a man called as Roger Bannister. Many years ago, they would say that 1 mile can never be run by any human being within 4 minutes. And this used to be there for years and years. This was never, nobody ever thought, that this record can be broken. They said if you run a mile within 4 minutes, you may have a heart attack, you may have a lung problem, you may have this, that, etc., etc. But this one man thought, no, there is somebody who can do it, and it is me. He broke that record. That is not important. That is okay. What is important is when he broke that record, after that, there are thousands and thousands of people who broke that record because now they started believing that, yes, I can run in that one mile in 4 minutes. That is what a belief can do. जब हम कहते हैं कि वो एक हाथी होता है, you tie a piece of, when the elephant is small, you tie a rope to the elephant and you tie the other rope end to the small piece of wood. The elephant is small and naturally he cannot break it. But as the elephant becomes bigger, the elephant still cannot break it because it has become his belief that I cannot break it. That's what a negative belief can do. And I'm so glad entrepreneurs here have this positive belief. And with this positive belief, I know you all will make your company big. You all will make this city big. And that is something that the country will also feel proud of the people who are here. I'm so glad you are here. And heartiest congratulations for doing what you all are doing. Also, Pune Mirror just started its edition in Mumbai. And when we went to Mumbai, there were so many people who said, what is Pune Mirror doing in Mumbai? Pune to Pune ka hai. But we would tell them that न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स न्यूयॉर्क का नहीं है, वॉशिंगटन पोस्ट सिर्फ वॉशिंगटन का नहीं है, ये दुनिया का है. There are many brands which have the name city, but they are world brands. If they can do it, why can't Pune Mirror do it? So we said we'll go to Mumbai with this name Pune Mirror. And fortunately, when we've gone there, we've got some huge response. And you know, we've got some stalwarts who've joined us in Mumbai. I would like to quickly introduce them to you. We have Mr. Balakrishna. Mr. Balakrishna, he is the editor of Mumbai Mirror. Balakrishna sir, aap yahan aaye. It'll be nice to have you. He's been the editor of Free Press. He's been in Times of India. He's been in Indian Express. He's been there all over. And he's got a great reputation. With this great reputation, he comes and he leads our Mumbai edition. Thank you for being here, sir. Stay here, sir. Sir. Stay 1 minute. We've also got one person who've joined as the revenue head. He used to be the revenue head of Sony Live. He used to be the revenue head of Z. And today, he is joined us as the revenue head. May I also invite Mr. Nirmal Shah, who is the revenue head for Pune Times Mirror now. Pune, we've always had some strong stories, some bold stories. We've never got scared of printing the truth. And one of the solid person behind that is Archana. Archana is the editor of Pune Mirror. Archana, come up here. Mumbai Mirror Associate Editor, we also have Tushar Shetty. Tushar, are you around? Come here quickly. We have Akash. Akash is the CEO. I'm getting all of you all here for a nice picture. We don't have, where's Priyanka? Yeah, there she is. That's Priyanka. Come on, Priyanka. You know, if you all have seen the movie दो आंखें बारह हाथ, देखी है कभी? नहीं? दो आंखें बारह हाथ में क्या होता है कि there is one person और वो ना सारे गुंडों को इकट्ठा करता है. So उसके दो आंखें होती है, वो 6 आदमियों को इकट्ठा करता है जिनके 12 हाथ होते हैं, and together they go out to create history and they win certain battles. This is what Priyanka has done. Priyanka has gathered all the people from all over to create what she wants to create. I'm so glad that, there are other people who are missing here today. It's not that Pune Mirror would have been complete without them. It's just that they are not here. Sheetal ma'am is not here. Roshan Tamang is there? He's not there. Rakesh is here? He's also not here. So there are many who are not here, and believe me, each one of them are stalwarts in their field. So I'm so glad, sir, आप लोग यहाँ पर आए हो. You all have become a part of Pune Mirror, and Pune Mirror आपके हवाले. It's a kid of mine. I'm giving it to you all. Take it to heights. Mumbai is just one destination. Go to many other destinations, and within 3 years, try to make this as the national brand. So thank you for being a part of Pune Mirror. Monisha, come. One picture with you. Priyanka, wait. Hold on. Yeah, one picture. So thank you very much. Enjoy your day. And Chetan, thank you for coming, being a part. Chetan is a friend of mine. He's the owner of Indira University. Thank you, and thank you, Kunal, once again. Thank you, all of you.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Pankaj Sharma. Big round of applause for him, please. Thank you. Now it is time that, we move to what a lot of you have been waiting for. It is time for the first set of awards to be given away. May I please call upon on stage Mr. Pankaj Sharma, Managing Director and Chairman of the Pune Times Mirror, Civic Mirror, and the Lexicon Group. Sir, yes, please. Joining him on stage to give the first set of awards is actor and entrepreneur Kunal Kapoor. I need to hear some claps, ladies and gentlemen. Also joining them up on stage, the Chief Marketing Officer of Indira University, Academic Advisor at Indira University and Indira Group of Institutes, Professor Chetan Wakalkar. And last but no means least, Executive Director, Indira University and Projects, SCAS, Mr. Shardul Gangal. I still can't hear you, come on. Thank you very much. Now, the first set of awards are going to go out now. The first award of the night, ladies and gentlemen, for the Best Business Advisory Firm goes to Miss Anuja Nawate and Mr. Anish Nawate. If you guys are over here, please come up on stage. There they are. From the back of the room to the stage, as they enter, I'd request everyone to please put your hands together. For the Best Business Advisory Firm. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Moving on to the next award of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, the Best Education Entrepreneur. Can I have on stage Ms. Neha Dubey and Mr. Uman Ansari? This is the award for the Best Education Entrepreneur. Ms. Neha Dubey and Mr. Uman Ansari. Big round of applause. On stage right now in front of your eyes, the Best Education Entrepreneur winning the Aavishkar Award 2026. Up next, the Aavishkar Award 2026 for the Best Innovation Entrepreneur. Representing the company Wheel of Innovation, we have Mr. Sandeep Joshi. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he makes his way onto the stage, Mr. Sandeep Joshi, and picks up the award for the Best Innovation Entrepreneur, awarded the Aavishkar Award 2026, where vision becomes legacy. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. Up next, the award for the Best IT Enterprise. This award goes to 3CIT and representing them, Mr. Ranjit M. and Mr. Anil Bhatt. Mr. Ranjit and Mr. Anil Bhatt, as he makes his way up on stage, and this is exactly when you should start clapping, everyone. This is the time. When you see the man who's taken the risks, when you see the man who has gone the distance and continues to do so. The Aavishkar Award 2026 for the Best Not right now, not right now, just when you see this gentleman. About now. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Ajinkya Madhukar Mirgal, ladies and gentlemen of the Legal Action, the best legal entrepreneur winning the Aavishkar Award 2026. Up next, the Aavishkar Award 2026 for the best legacy business. And this goes to Janvi Jewelers, representing them, Mr. Amol Kaigaonkar. The best legacy business, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's saying that AI is going to replace your job, but what I feel is that if you're human, you can kind of push back to that by giving them a big round of applause. Can I hear you guys, please? Yeah, not the AI, not the bots in the room, only the humans. Now, moving on to the best healthcare innovator. The best healthcare innovator, ladies and gentlemen, the award goes to Dr. Prathamesh Raut. Dr. Prathamesh Raut, can I have you up on stage, sir? As Dr. Raut makes his way up on stage, a big round of applause for him. Once again. Now, you know what? I think the second set of awards are done. How about we take a short little break from the awards and focus on something which is really important. The Aavishkar Awards did not begin as an event. They began as an institution's belief that Pune's entrepreneurs deserve a stage as big as their ambition. I now invite the leadership of Indira University to please share a few words. If I can have you on stage, please. And be very happy to give this to you. All yours. Thank you.
So, a very good evening to all the ladies and gentlemen present over here. My name is Shardul Gangal, and I am the trustee at Indira University, also the executive director, as has been announced a few times already. Well, I also like to call myself a zillennial because I'm at the cusp of being the late millennial and the early Gen Z. And that also means that the last time I held a newspaper in my hand was at a bhel stall. But, but jokes aside, I mean, it's one of those things that also symbolizes change, right? And change is something that all this August gathering that we have over here has brought about um, to our country, if not just the city. I mean, at the end of the day, what matters is that when we innovate, it brings about an impact. And I think this set of awards today is a good celebration of that. And what I would also like to mention is that we at Indira University have also been very, I mean, I wouldn't say pioneers as such, but I would say we have been very, I'm trying to find the right word here, but we have had our fair share of entrepreneurship at Indira University in many ways, right? And probably the first thing that I would like to mention is that we had started a B plan competition way back in 2011, before the whole startup wave, before our country and our Prime Minister put in the effort towards bringing startups to the forefront of what education can give. So since 2011, Indiapreneur has been a top B school competition that has attracted students from all over India. In fact, last year itself, we have had about 500 applicants who have participated in this. And along with that, we've also been doing a lot of innovation series of awards over the last many years. And what we have now trying to do, which is maybe the need of the hour, is that we have our own incubation center at Indira University. Now, this incubation center is called Swakhyam. I think you've seen the videos that were playing at the beginning of the show. And Swakhyam is something that is very close to my heart as well, because I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur myself, where I've had numerous stints at entrepreneurship before I came into the family ecosystem of Indira University. Well, they say that entrepreneurship is the path less traveled, but it is one of those paths that does not have any Google Maps. It's one of those paths that, the road is even not constructed, and your co-founder is telling you that, hey, let's just turn back, So, well, but then that is something that we need to do, right? For the longest time in the education ecosystem, the main thing that a student would come, get educated and think about what's the next step, and they would say, okay, let's get a job, right? And now that narrative has substantially changed, with India being like the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. That's a big achievement for a country like ours, where still today doing a job is the primary focus or the primary goal for majority of the students who graduate. And it's events like these and the people who sit over here that bring about that change and inspire the youth to become entrepreneurs. And that's what we were trying to do at Swakhyam as well. Now, this road less traveled requires an ecosystem that will encourage and help these students who have aspirations and ideas succeed, right? And the main thing over here is that many a times when we think of an incubation center, we're thinking about, okay, we're taking an idea, nurturing it, and trying to get it funded. But funding is also a completely different journey. But there are a lot of things that go into entrepreneurship at that such a nascent stage, where it's not just a road to funding or road to your first, what do you say, like your product market fit or your first prototype. It's more than that, right? It's about building a mindset with the students. That is the most important bit. Because entrepreneurship is not easy, as everybody over here, our great entrepreneurs are sitting over here, they know that it's a journey that takes a lot of resilience, and that is something that we need to inculcate into the students who we are trying to push for entrepreneurship. Now, that being said, this is also like, maybe a call for all the people who are present here to contribute to that ecosystem, at the end of the day, we also want to make job creators. This is where our country will also go forward. So to enable job creators, we need to be able to have the expertise of the people over here to contribute towards nurturing those job creators. So in our Swakiyam ecosystem, we have, in fact, it is headed by a very nice person. He's not present over here, but he's a Harvard, Stanford, and Oxford alum who is in the private equities, ecosystem in an angel investing ecosystem, who is heading this Swakiyam incubation center at Indira University. And under his leadership and all the team that is there with us, some of them who are present here as well, we take a cohort of students that is then nurtured not just with your standard understanding of how a company should work, what you should do, your marketing, etc. But also we invite a lot of people to come and address these students, share their stories, tell them what it really is like in the real world of entrepreneurship, and give them the mentorship that is required to be able to go and do it themselves. So for me to close, I would say that, everybody out here, please reach out to us, and we would love to have you also mentor our students at Indira University in their entrepreneurship journey. Thank you so much, and I want to wish all the best to all the nominees, and congratulations to all the award winners present over here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Shardul. Thank you so very much. The university has been doing an absolutely amazing job. I'd like everybody to take a look at the big screen, for this AV, which will tell us all about the amazing work that Indira University has been doing.
शहरांचा वाढतं टेम्परेचर रोखण्यासाठी ग्रीन रूफ आणि व्हर्टिकल गार्डन.
नाईस.
AI बेस्ड न्यूट्रिशन ॲप जे स्वस्तात पोषक आहार सुचवेल.
24/7 विमेन सेफ्टी पोर्टल.
गरजेचं आहे.
वायरलेस EV बॅटरी चार्जिंग सिस्टम. गार्डन्स ॲप फॉर फायनान्शियल मॅनेजमेंट.
वाह, पाहिलं, आयडियाचा खजिना आहे, पण ह्या आयडियाचं व्यवसायात रूपांतर करणं इतकं सोपं नाही.
आमचा स्टार्टअप खरंच त्या क्षेत्राचे प्रश्न सोडवेल.
इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स मदत करतील.
स्टार्टअप प्रॉफिटेबल होण्यासाठी काय करायचं?
स्टार्टअपसाठी फंडरेज कुठून करायचं?
मार्केटिंग.
टार्गेट ऑडियन्स कसा शोधायचा?
पॅरेंट सपोर्ट करतील.
व्हॅलिड पॉइंट. म्हणूनच भारताच्या युवा उद्योजकांसाठी इंदिरा युनिव्हर्सिटी घेऊन आली आहे या सर्व प्रश्नांचं एक उत्तर. स्वकीयम सेंटर फॉर इन्क्युबेशन अँड इनोव्हेशन. इथे मिळेल तुमच्या स्टार्टअपला एंड टू एंड सपोर्ट, एक्सपर्टचं मार्गदर्शन, इंडस्ट्री एक्सपोजर आणि फंड रेझिंगची हमी. कारण आम्ही मानतो की स्टार्टअपची ही क्रांती फक्त उद्योग उभारणार नाहीये, तर भारताची नवी ओळख बनणार आहे.
Right, Indira University, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for doing such an amazing job and also creating that ecosystem, I believe, that is so necessary for a country like India, where, where we have so many bright brains. And I think one thing that has kind of changed over the years that I have seen is that the brain drain number has gone down so very much. And one of I think the most important things for that is to have centers like these in the country, where young people actually feel that they are contributing not just that, but I think that entire ecosystem that you've been trying to build. Thank you so very much for doing that, and congratulations on doing such a great job on that. Now, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back to the awards that all of you have been waiting for. May I now call up back on stage actor and entrepreneur Kunal Kapoor once again, please. Joining him, Mrs. Monisha Sharma, co-founder and director of the Lexicon Group, Dr. S.K. Rao, director of Noble Hospital, and Mr. Krishna Kumar Goyal, a partner, to give away the next set of awards. Right, we're going to start off this set with the Best Industrial Entrepreneur. And this award goes to Mr. Santosh Bandal of the Valentinia Industries. Mr. Santosh Bandal. Let's see, is Santosh here? All right, we're going to hold on to Santosha's award. Now, moving on, the Best Financial Inclusion Leader. This one goes to Mr. Chetan Babbar. Chetan, if you're here. All right. Blame the Pune traffic for that. Dental Wellness Pioneer. Ladies and gentlemen, this award goes to Dr. Himanshu Ajwani of Dr. Ajwani's Dental Centers. There he is. Mr. Himanshu Ajwani, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for him. It's the first one taking the award in this set. Thank you, sir. Congratulations to you. Up next, the Aavishkar Award 2026 for the Business Excellence Award. And this one goes to Mr. Nagesh Sharma. Mr. Nagesh Sharma. Looking for you. There he is. Yes, yes. We're waiting for you, sir. Take your time. Congratulations to you. Up next, the Aavishkar Award 2026 for the Excellence in Technology Solutions. And to pick up his award, may I please call on stage Wellness Brand Builder. And this one goes to Neha Sethi. We have the Excellence in Education and EdTech. Very, very important category. For this one, we have a winner, and her name is Sneha Agarwal. Sneha, making her way up on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Sneha. For this set, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the last award of this set, and the award is Excellence in Real Estate and Urban Development. To pick up this award, the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Rajesh Gurjar of Square Feet. Rajesh. Oh, you're coming on behalf of Rajesh, all right. Rajesh is not here, but there is representation, and that, I think, does warrant for some applause. Please put your hands together. Love the outfit, ladies, and congratulations to both of you. Now, moving on, we have the Excellence in Education and EdTech. And the winner for Excellence in Education and EdTech is Kiran Patil.
थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. आणि मराठीत सांगायचं तर मला माहेरी आल्यासारखं वाटतंय, बिकॉज आय एम एक्स डायरेक्टर ऑफ इंदिरा स्कूल ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, अँड आय मस्ट टेल यू दॅट द बेस्ट जॉब विच आय हॅव डन इज विथ इंदिरा, अँड all the people here are sort of extended family members. I'm saying this because I started my career as a scriptwriter with Bombay Doordarshan with 450 rupees salary. And the best, not salary, but the extended family gave me 50,000 rupees a month that time. I don't know how much the director getting now, must be more. And I must say that I'm missing Tarita ma'am, but I would definitely come and take her blessings. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations to you. And the last award, ladies and gentlemen, I think my counting is getting better with every single passing day. But yes, we have one last award to give away. This is the award for the Young Entrepreneur.
Good evening, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, congratulations to all the winners. And thanks for inviting us for a brief session. And I know it would be quite late. And I'll assure you it will not be more than 10 minutes for you. And this is a simple thing, a sort of entrepreneurship only, you could say, wherein we wanted to just tell you briefly about the passive journey or the passive investment world that Nippon has to offer to you. So I would just like to request if you could just run some few slides. So, friends, whenever we're talking about passive, I'll just give you a brief about the things that like what passive is exactly. So it's basically we have two sort of investment, active investment and passive investment. In active investment, you have some fund manager who takes the call, who has a research team, and who suggests the fund and the strategy to you. In passive, you are having some sort of index or some sort of underlying commodity or even some formula where there is no fund manager involved, a simple business, or you can call it as a simple life for the investor. So if you could say that like what the passive has been to do with the normal in entrepreneurship setup, I would say that in last 20 years, what the journey we have seen in passive is from few hundreds from the startup sort of thing till date as a passive industry, totaling around 14.5 lakh crore in the mutual fund industry, which contributes around 18%. So that is where the completely transformation of the investment horizon has been taken place. So even if you can compare it with an index as an AI or automation, wherein you always can say that something when you give a prompt or a feed to AI, and then you can expect the answer or some rule-based underlying investment. Same happens with the passive thing, that whenever you are giving some sort of a decision or some sort of formula, you are getting an output, a very simple thing, like if you could just compare it with the India story for a Nifty, a simple, it will replicate the entire India story for a broad Nifty as an index. There is no human bias to it, a very simple business. As I told you, it's almost touching now 15 lakh crore. If you see the same journey was 10 years back, it was not even few thousand crores. So this is the journey of an ETF. ETF is basically an exchange trade fund vis-a-vis an index fund. Both are the passive piece of a business. So ETF is actually a real time wherein you can buy and sell underlying fund with a click of a button on a exchange. An index fund is a sort of a mutual fund following some sort of index or a commodity, but at the end of the day. So this is the journey of even index fund. So ETF has grown to 11.5 lakh crore, and if you could see the index fund itself growing from last just 5-6 years from 10,000 to 3.5 lakh crores almost there. So these are the things which you could see. A plain vanilla index or plain vanilla thing like water, it catches lots of attention than the whatever you can call it like a cola, limca and anything, any frenzy thing, instead of a plain thing like an index or something catches more attention. If you could see the flows in the industry from last year, this financial year also, this is figures are in crores. So same with the index fund categories. If you see the plain vanilla indices also, there are addition in last 5 to 6 years about the smart beta or the strategy based indices, a new horizon where you could decide that you want to outbid the underlying index by using some small simple formula, and then you could see the smart money moving in and creating the magic for you. So this is the inflows of the industry, where you can see that index fund has almost now at number 2 in the industry, which is catching fast with the smart money. So if we go and we can, what is the popular, why they are going so much popular, what is the decision, what is the things which are driving the HNIs or family assets towards it, is because of your transparency, to label choice, what you provide, what is written, you can simply get that. The plethora of choices, especially in smart beta indices, the way you can replicate the underlying formulas very easily with the sort of mature market that we are going towards now. Elimination of non-systematic risk where we could not have human biases or we could not falters on the things. So that sort of thing always helps. So what do you do in a ETF? You just follow this formula. You can Google it also. We have done it in a Victor test. The volumes or the impact cost is most important criteria when you are selecting any of the ETF from plethora of choices that you have. And why index fund? Again, simply, you can have always if you see the heat map, things will keep on always moving, and it is very tough to hit a moving target. That is where we say that we offer you the entire bouquet of the product, wherein you can simply choose from the entire underlying economy. So even you can see about the smart beta. So even it is very tough for you to gauge. There are so many of choices, so many things which every year you will keep on changing. That is where even if you will require the help from your financial advisors, if you are not yourself to give that much of time. So, but yes, you have enough choices for the smart beta indices also. And this is a new generation thing, and I would not stretch it beyond this because I know it's quite late also. Otherwise, this presentation go for an hour also. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll request you again to have a look at the things for passive business, which is our one of the, we are largest in the industry. And Nippon itself is having around 2.9 lakh crore assets under management only for the passive business out of total 8 lakh crore. So please have a look, and thank you for the time and attention. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kohinoor Group has been doing an absolutely amazing job. Please keep your eyes on the screen as we play this very special EV for the Kohinoor Group.
हम बस दिल से रिश्ते निभाते चले गए और कारवां बढ़ता चला गया। कभी किसी की जिंदगी की नई शुरुआत से बना रिश्ता, कभी नन्हे पैरों से चल के मुस्कुराता आया नया रिश्ता, कभी किसी की ख्वाहिशों को मुमकिन करते बना रिश्ता। कभी किसी के सपनों का सहारा बनते हुए जुड़ा रिश्ता। कभी जिसने हमेशा दिया सहारा, उससे सुजलाम सुफलाम कहते हुए बना रिश्ता। कभी निखर के आया अपनों के साथ परंपरा से जुड़ा रिश्ता, तो कभी तालियों की गूंज से बना एक्सीलेंस का अटूट रिश्ता। इन्हीं रिश्तों की बुनियाद पे जब आसमान छुआ हमने, आने वाले वक्त की नई सोच से बना रिश्ता। हम बस दिल से रिश्ते निभाते चले गए और हर रिश्ते से कहा हमेशा हमने, सदा सुखी रहो।
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude this evening. Thank you so very much for being a part of the Aavishkar Awards 2026. It was an absolute pleasure hosting all of you. This is your host, RJ Sami, signing out one last time for this evening. Thank you.